Hello and welcome to the new episode of CSU series of the Full Funnel B2B Marketing podcast. This is your host, Andrei Zinkiewicz, and today we are going to chat about how to fill in the sales pipeline with sales qualified opportunities by leveraging virtual summits. And my guest is Anton Kamaev, who is commercial director and head of sales at iRidium Mobile. We
Hi
worked
there.
we worked with iRidium in 2020 and launched together a big event that helped us to generate 2,320 signups, 34 sales qualified opportunities, and 5 new customers right from the bat. So today we are going to dive into the details of the summit orchestration and promotion. Anton will share all the nitty-gritty details and basically will answer all the questions you guys might have before launching this virtual event. And the best part, and the most interesting part, that iRidium is a company that provides hardware products for system integrators for smart homes, smart installations, etc. So it's quite narrow market. It's not a market that is that has lots of media coverage, and the results they gained from the virtual event is really fantastic. So I'm really curious, and Anton, thanks a lot for joining me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for inviting.
Yeah, so I suggest to start with a short intro. So can you please tell a little bit more about your company, about your products, and the goal of the summit? Why did you decide to launch it?
Yeah, sure. With pleasure. Well, what we are doing, as Andrei said, we are a company who are producing not only hardware but software as well. And the idea is to provide a platform to control smart homes and buildings with our application, all-in-one app, which allows you to combine and integrate everything just in one app, just in one interface. Well, we are based in Russia and but work worldwide. So we sell our products in 72 countries. We're a pretty small company, I would say. Now we have about 60 employees, specialists in iRidium. And what was the idea for the summit? So first of all, last year was a bit, how to say, complicated for all of us.
That's true.
And when we met with Andrei, we started to think about marketing strategy, and there were a lot of ideas how we can improve our positions at the market. And one of them, which was, how to say, very interesting to me personally, is to make kind of online summit, online conference where we can invite not only attendees, but also our partners to share their opinion about the market, about trends, to present their new products, to talk about some use cases, and we decided to do it. So the goal was there were no offline trade shows at all. So everything was completely stopped, and everyone came to online, which is great that we have this opportunity. But we decided why we should join someone if we can do it by ourselves. And we had pretty much enough time to do it. So we've started, I would say, to prepare in 3 months in advance. And yeah, because we wanted to invite many partners, I would say, not only from our particular automation market, but also from IT market, from Internet of Things market, and they are more or less in one direction, but we are not so close to each other. And yeah, when we've started, we understood that this is a great opportunity to us to make this event one of the most popular in Russia, at least for this market, of course. And as we see right now, it was so. I mean, it was conducted in a pretty much professional level, and our partners supported us. So they joined us and they shared this news about the online summit among their customers. So we've got pretty much new attendees and new registrations as a result. That's how it started. So we wanted to be somewhere in media to make some noise, and it was the right tool, as far as I see, to make this summit available. So we've started from Russia, and it was in Russian language mainly, and we want to do the same this year, I would say.
Cool. Let's share some more details and some context with our listeners. And basically, first of all, let me wrap up the, let's say, the preparation. So the target market was Russia. Then the target audience was companies that operate, let's say, that are selling smart home installations, etc., system
That's right.
integrators, etc. So aside from the attendees, you wanted to invite your partners and potential customers as the speakers for this event. And basically, you started the preparation before 3 months before the virtual event.
Yeah. So the summit was in October, and we started in August. Right.
Cool. How many people were involved from your side in the organization and promotion?
So generally, there were 3 people fully busy with the preparation. So it was Oksana, our marketing director. It was Victor, our PR director, and also, of course, we worked together with a designer because we needed to create a landing page, to create some presentations, Facebook posts, etc., advertisement, and me. So it was a team.
Oh, 3 people.
3 plus designer, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, I'm partially designer. Okay. And so you mentioned that you started the promotion 3 months before the virtual event.
Not a promotion, but preparation. So we've started to prepare the agenda. We've started to make a short list of those who we want to invite to the summit. And we've started to think about what kind of main topics should be during the summit. So I have to say that there were 5 days of the summit.
Yeah.
So it's not just for 2 hours. So it was 35 hours of live broadcast. And yeah, we've started to make it formal in order to share it with our partners who want to be involved in this summit.
Cool. And how did you recruit your speakers? So how did you, let's say, how did you sell the idea of the summit to your partners and potential customers?
Well, in some cases, it was pretty easy because partners knew us, and we made some cooperation with them previously, and it was successful. Some of them asked several questions to understand what the main audience, target audience, will be, and there were some specific requests from them, so we also met their needs. But there were partners who do not work with us, let's say Microsoft or MTS, telecom operator here in Russia, and other big guys, I would say, like Sberbank, Sber Telecom, I'm sorry. So it was, how to say, several stages of our negotiations with them. The idea was, so we said, hey guys, we do not want to promote just iRidium as a platform. We want to promote technologies available in the market and give the opportunity to attendees to show them what kind of tasks they can solve using your or our platform. It doesn't matter. Even if we are not integrated, it's okay, because there will be different people. They're working in the automation market, but they all have different tasks. And they were their target audience, of course, because they also invited their customers. We invited ours, so they understood that we will exchange our, let's say, customer database in some way. Some people will come to their platforms to register and try. So the same from our side. That's why the cool thing that this summit was open one. We didn't close everything among our platform. We say we're all at the same level, at the same position. We have same time slots, and you are able to choose what time you would prefer to make a speech and so on. And it was, yeah, we succeeded in it.
That's cool. And my key takeaways from here are that first of all, it brings the network effect. So basically, you say that the idea is not promoting our company or products, but basically we want to make a general market awareness. We want to share the knowledge with the market, and basically that's the opportunity. We are promoting the event to our audience, to our clients, to our partners. You do the same, and Russia is a big market, so this helps some companies, let's say, have better awareness and have better presence in specific regions. So this helps another company, that joins the summit as a speaker or as a partner to get the awareness on this, let's say, in these regions, and vice versa. So it helps other companies to be presented in other regions and basically share the knowledge, share the expertise. And when people, let's say, are sold on this idea, they're eager to promote that summit, they're eager to share it. And basically it also helps to, from my point of view, it also helps to cultivate the relationship with the existing customer database, because you can invite your customers, you can share your expertise. And this is, this is always because we are the vendors. Doesn't matter if we are selling products or services. Basically, we always want to be, let's say, perceived as trusted advisors for our clients, not just sellers of a commodity product that can be easily replaced. So we want to share our expertise, and basically this event gave that opportunity to many clients, to many companies that joined it as speakers.
Yeah, that's true. One more thing, which were sensitive to some of our partners, everything was for free. So we didn't charge for the event, both sides, attendees and partners. We just said, okay, you have to come with a presentation. It should be in some specific format, and that's it. The more use cases you will have, the better, and so on. Same for attendees. We just ask them to register and attend the summit online, because we made kind of restriction for the records of the video of the day. So it was available for during 24 hours after the day is over, and then it disappeared. But that's why it was, I would say, it was live. We had discussions with the attendees, so they, yeah, they commented on the speeches and asked many questions, and it was pretty good. So I would say, if we say you can see everything in records, we will send it to you. We got like, I don't know, in 10 times less attendees than it was.
That's totally true. This is like a basic human psychology. So when you have this, let's say, feeling of abundance, that you can, watch the video anytime later, usually it never happens.
Yep.
So that's why when you have this sort of scarcity, when you have this sort of that, okay, so fear of missing out, the famous FOMO factor. So then people, okay, that probably should be my priority, because otherwise I won't have this opportunity to chat with these people, to ask the questions I have, etc. So I'm absolutely sold on this idea. I feel that's the best way to motivate people to show up, to join the discussions. And yeah, you had a really good engagement, because I was the speaker on one of the days. I saw
that's true.
That was exploding. So yeah.
Yeah, and I would say I think that it was a good idea to invite not only vendors or integrators or real estate developers who are more or less engaged in automation market, but also to invite marketing guys like you, who are expert in B2B market. And we also invited another one, marketing professional, who was told us about B2C sales. And I've got many I would say comments and feedback that it was really useful to our integrators, because of the nature of their how to say their job. They are technicians, they are not sales and marketing guys. and they're missing always missing this part of the business. They don't know how to do it, and if they get some advices, or they can talk to you or to some other marketing guy after the summit, it works for them.
Yeah, absolutely makes sense, because it also gives some insights to these people, So, okay, this is what I wasn't even thinking about. This might be a good idea. Maybe, okay, so now I see some, let's say, bottlenecks in my marketing and sales processes, and this is what I can improve. So it's really fantastic. Aside from the technical part, aside from technical talks. And let me know just a quick question about recruiting the speakers. So you mentioned the process, you mentioned how did you sell the idea of the summit. What are your key takeaways, and maybe you can share some pitfalls or drawbacks in this process, so people who might be thinking about arranging the same virtual summit should be aware about?
Well, first of all, your message should be clear enough. They should understand what the event is going to be, especially when it is the new one. So our summit was arranged for the first time, and mainly they looked at us as the vendors, not as the organizers of something. So it was pretty important to explain them what we are going to do, that we don't want to get all of their customers and make them iRidium fans. It was how to say, pretty important for them. Secondly, you have to give them some, how to say, some space for movement. Let's say they can bring you some ideas, and they should know about it, that okay, you are open for some new formats, new ideas, etc. So we discussed with them many things, and some of them were implemented in the summit. So thanks to, just because we said we are open, not just do first, second, third, then not go to the left or to the right. Third thing, you have to define what the audience going to be. It was difficult to us because we wanted to get many of them. But for instance, we wanted to get end customers and integrators, which are completely different because of their needs. Integrators want to sell something and make it as, how to say, with a good quality and sell it with a good price. And end customers, they just want to get something new, but do not pay for this as much as possible, something like this. And the end customers don't want to listen to vendors, for instance. They want to get some use cases, and that's it. So we come to a conclusion that yes, we are focusing on system integrators, and it was good that we made this conclusion before the summit started and before we've started to get partners involved. That's actually it. Then we discussed the rules, what time frame they are going to have. We showed them that there will be a specific topic on each day. We told them that they are able to choose which one is interesting for them or more interesting for them. And after it, we just went through the, how to say, through the planned steps. For instance, we said, okay, on September 15th, there will be an announcement from your side and our side. Agreed? Agreed. So next, we will make an announcement before 2 weeks of the summit. Okay, okay. So in this case, they were sure, they were ensured by these words that they are not going to some, how to say, that it will be done on a professional way and it will be good for their reputation. It was especially important for big corporations, that they are not going to lose their face just because they participated in some unprofessional event. So yeah, if they are confident and they feel that you are able to manage it, they are going to be your best friends.
That's a good one. Now, and I want to discuss the promotion part with you as well. So, when did you start the promotion, and how did you promote that event?
So September the 15th, it was the first announcement. We used email announcement, and also we made
So it was 1 month before the summit.
yeah, 1 month and a half, I would say,
Mhm.
because okay, 1 month more or less. So yeah, emailing, then post in social networks. Plus, we've got several informational partners, let's say, who made announcement in their specific groups or in their specific e-magazines, I would say, and it was useful. Also, we worked, for instance, with ROIX, who are a big distributor here in Russia of digital signage solutions as well as automation products. So they have a huge customer database, and they made announcements through their channels. And plus, we made some paid announcements, as far as I remember, using mainly Facebook. Facebook was one of the top channels for us to announce it. Plus, we made when we were preparing a draft of the announcement, we sent it to the partners to approve, and we asked them to do the same on their side, making text that iRidium is involved, and specifying other partners. So this network, I would say, this network helped us to get so many registrations, so more than 2,300.
And if you remember the data, what was the proportion of, let's say, attendees that were not in your database or in your CRM, comparing to the people who came from, let's say, from your database?
So I would say from this number of registered attendees, 2,300, there were about 900 new customers. I mean, new attendees that we didn't know who are they. So they came up from the partner side. That's important, and it's interesting because actually we had about 50 partners who was involved in the summit, who was acting as speakers. But so they brought about 1,000 attendees. It's even a bit less than our number, right? 1,002 or 300 people. But it's a good number in my opinion, because not all of our partners were interested in promotion, and you have to to know it,
Accept it.
that yeah, to accept it, that not all of them, or even no one will promote this summit, because how to say, you was the first who came up with the idea, so you are responsible. And they may not have marketing plans for this event, and if they have their own strategy and own plans, they will follow them, especially talking about big companies. But still, it's a great number, and I think this first summit was important for us also to be able to make the second one, because I'm sure that there will be more partners and more attendees who will ask us to join us, even if it will be a paid event, because we
Absolutely.
have this social proof.
And it helps to establish this, let's say, leadership on this market, because this is now
Yeah,
you were the first company that arranged that kind of event. You have lots of social proof, you have lots of testimonials, lots of positive feedback. So now you are, let's say, now you are owning that event, and companies are interested to join. So that's the key point here. And from my point
yeah,
of view, 40%, so it's like 900 new potential customers, as you mentioned. So this is around 40% from all the signups. It's quite a solid number for the first event. So I feel that partners also did a really good job with helping you with
So
promoting the event.
I'm really thankful to them.
And
Yeah, they helped us a lot. And by the way, I've already got some, some calls from other vendors who was not a part of the previous summit. Keep us updated when you are going to arrange a new one. So it's good.
so you have a wait list now.
Yeah, we start to form it.
Yeah, I remember there was one more thing that we did together in terms of promotion. So with some of the speakers, you were running like podcast interviews before the summit, just to, let's say, warm up the market to promote the event. So from your point of view, how did it work?
Well, it worked great. Just because we've started to warm up market and attendees in advance, showing them the faces of those who are going to lead the summit, and it was pretty good. So they've started to share it among their contacts, their friends, and it helped us to grow up the registration data number.
So to summarize, so what worked? These interviews worked because this helped you to present the speakers, and actually the attendees could like get an understanding of what to expect, what kind of knowledge, what kind of information they can expect from the virtual event. That's the first thing. Then you had your own database, so you were leveraging the names of speakers. So you can say, okay, basically we are going to host a 5-day summit, and you had some, let's say, unique idea of inviting marketers to give some talks. So that was like some sort of add, let's say, additional benefit for the attendees. Next, there was like a live chat where they could ask the questions, chat with the speakers, etc. And that created a first, let's say, the first buzz, to promote the summit. Next, the partners who saw that, let's say, who saw that buzz, who saw the numbers of signups, that people started to talk about this, the info partners, companies that helped you to promote the event. It's, let's say, it helped them to be more active promoter, I feel. So to share it more actively with their audience and invite more people, because they saw, okay, the guys are doing really a fantastic job in terms of organizing and promoting the event, so we need to help and we want to be a part of this. So this is what worked, and let's quickly touch the thing that's what didn't work and why.
In terms of promotion or in general in case of summit?
Yeah, in terms of promotion, if there was anything.
Well, it's hard to remember, because you always remember only good things.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, what wasn't work? Maybe we count on our partners more than it actually was, just because of promotion not was done by all of them, but some of them surprised us because we didn't expect that they will do any promotion, but they did. So thanks to them. Then what didn't work? Maybe more. I would say that everything worked in some parameters, some percentage, but maybe we were able to get more partners who will promote our activities. I mean, some specific resources which are aimed on the automation market. So maybe we didn't do a lot of efforts, made a lot of efforts in this direction. But in general, it more or less worked. Yeah, and I would say that advertisement on Facebook worked less. It was not so efficient comparing with interview, for instance. So that's true. And it was not working just because more or less all of our attendees they know about iRidium and they know about other partners. So if they saw this information in some posts in some specific groups, it was enough for them to make a decision to participate in this summit. So I would say that we will not promote this summit using Facebook advertisement this year.
Absolutely makes sense. And there was one more thing from my point of view that potentially negatively impacted the, let's say, the results from the paid promotion, is that what you mentioned, it was just the first event, so people didn't know what to expect. You didn't have lots of, basically, how could you have testimonials if it was the first event? So you couldn't add any social proof. So basically you could give a promise to the market and you could rely only on the names of the partners and just, give a promise that the knowledge, the quality of the information will be really high. And that's it. So this year, let's say, again, if you could leverage just brainstorming some ideas, adding some video testimonials or text testimonials, putting them into ads. In this case, it would be much better social proof, and now you have all the numbers. You can say that last year we had 2,300 signups, all these things, how it worked, etc. And that's the best social proof. You don't need, you don't need to be Ogilvy to be a super copywriter, to promote this event. So basically you can use the numbers and social proof. So that might be a fact. Okay, I want to focus on one of the, let's say, most essential questions I know our listeners will have. How did you activate the attendees, and basically how did you generate sales qualified opportunities from that virtual event? Because it wasn't promotional, as, let's come back to the basics. So the event was free. You didn't promote iRidium product. You didn't sell it from the stage, let's say from the Zoom room. So there is a question I feel major part of our listeners will have. So basically, how did you guys generate sales qualified opportunities? I'm so curious to hear all the nitty-gritty details of the activation part.
So there were two things, and only one is countable. I mean, only one is you can be prepared for. So first one, we were lucky. Why? Because our partners in most of their speeches, we didn't ask them to do it, but they said that iRidium is, and they, continued talking about why they choose iRidium and recommend it to their customers. So even those who, among attendees who didn't use iRidium previously, heard a lot about us, even if it was not our speech. So let's say someone from, I don't know, Sber Telecom is talking about iRidium. It's good. So we were lucky because our partners have really good, let's say, experience using our solutions together with their platforms, hardware, and so on. Second thing, you may prepare some specific promotion for those who are attending the summit. For instance, if they are registering, you provide them some specific status, as we did. Like dealers can become silver status, so they get better discount and so on if they are registering during these days. Plus, we always refer to some, we try to say that, yes, you can try it right now. Just go to our website. We use different one. So for Summit, we used summit.iridium.com, but they understood that it is somewhere in the ecosystem of iRidium. So they said, we asked them, we told them that you may become a dealer just in a snap. Just leave us your contact details and you will get some trials and so on. So never forget to sell yourself when it's possible and when it's appropriate. I mean, for the next summit, I would say. So we want to do it in the moment when we have our new products available. So we will probably give them some some discount or some specific conditions to try it or to buy it immediately. I think it will work for those who want to try, especially when you have some product which is easy to use, let's say. So it just doesn't require to spend the whole month to get into the technology. So that's how it worked. Additionally, there were some guys who came with some specific cases, and they understood that iRidium may cover this, how to say, these requirements. So in general, when you are making even an informational presentation, keep in mind that you are selling the idea, the product, the services, the use case. There will be kind of magic in their mind that if they have more or less the same question in their mind, and they understand that, okay, this particular solution may be useful for solving this question, they will come to you and ask. So it also helped us to get some new deals in our pipe.
And basically, a quick question about the sales process. So did it happen after the event? So did you send emails or did you call these potential dealers and suggested this status to them? So how it looked like?
So we contacted those who was new. I mean, new registration, new attended of the summit. So we called them and wrote them emails telling that we thanked them for joining us and told them what kind of things they are able to get from us if they are going to become dealers right now, and so on. So yeah, we made these steps after the webinar, after the summit, but it should be done like, you know, in 1 or 2 weeks after. Do not take a big post action immediately.
There was one more part that we worked together on activation. So we hosted after the event, we did the analysis of database and we hosted a webinar, and then we were sending some content hubs, dedicated content hubs with the, let's say, product materials. So we could segment the audience by the interest. And then we had some surveys just to capture the demand, to, let's say, identify these warm leads who we should call. And basically this is more or less how we ended up with sort of 4 sales qualified opportunities. So could you please highlight that process as well?
Well, so we've prepared kind of presentation of our product and services, and we used contact hubs to you know, which helps us to see what kind of materials were watched by the attendees, and we were able to get their emails, so they need to, you know, leave it if they want to see this presentation. And after it, we called them or sent emails telling them that you know, we have this platform or this product, and started to talk to them about their projects. So, and if there is an interest, we offered them to get this for test or with some, you know, specific price to start trying it after the summit.
So to sum up the process, we had the summit, we had all this database of the, let's say, of the new potential customers. And then we hosted a dedicated webinar to these potential customers. After the webinar, we sent a content hub. So I'm just trying to make it step by step. We sent a content hub that's contained information about different products, about case studies, including the portfolio, because you have multiple solutions and you need to know what exactly you should be talking about to the prospect, you know. And then you knew exactly when they checked the content hub, you knew how much time they spent, what content did they consume, you know, where did they spend most of the time, so they might have specific questions. And now follow-up became like a natural part of this process, because we were just following up and asking, if you have guys any questions about this specific product or this specific use case, let's have a call.
Yeah, so we didn't try to catch all of them just because we want to, but yeah, we tried to make it logical and acceptable by them. And okay, I'm interested, so why not?
Yeah, absolutely. So wrapping up the business results, what we had. So we had 2,320 signups, 34 sales qualified opportunities, 5 new customers. And considering that you have a long and complex sales cycle, these are really amazing results. And I want...
And also, yeah, I'm sorry, Andrei, we also sold some video records of the summit. So let's say it covered all of our operational expenses. So all our costs were covered by selling the video records. Yeah, we made it like in 4K quality. So for those who missed the summit, it was a pretty useful tool to watch it in a convenient time for them. So yeah, and it was helpful to us to cover everything that we spent on the summit, but it was not so many. I mean, the costs will go into zero just because it was online. Okay, we just paid for some services and it was our salary, and that's it actually.
And just for people who are, might be curious, about the cost, because sometimes people tend to think that it's like very, very expensive campaign, etc. Can you please just give like, or estimate the cost? It's not necessary to tell the exact numbers. I feel that nobody remembers it, but more or less, what was the cost of organizing and promoting the event?
I will make a comparison. Let's say if we are going to the offline event, and even if we have a very small booth there, talking about Russian market, I'm not talking going somewhere in Europe or I don't know, Asia. So it took us in US dollars, it was, let's say it was 15, $20,000, okay? And this summit costed us, I would say, up to $2,000 or maybe $3,000, and that's it. But again, you may start from even just paying for Zoom to get like extra, I don't know how they call this tariff, like webinar
extra package,
like yeah. So it costs, let's say, 159, and that's it. And the rest you can do by yourself, actually.
That's true. That's true. So we covered the business results, so the revenue results. This is clear. And what are, let's say, the indirect benefits you got from that event?
Well, as there were new people, new guys from automation who didn't work with iRidium, it was about brand awareness. So they learned about iRidium, what is it for, and some of them changed their mind because not everyone is like your fan or something like this. They may face with some issues or heard something not relevant from their friends or colleagues, etc. So they understood that okay, at least we can try. And it was about customers' loyalty, because our current customers, we all want to be confident in something, and if they see that this company is active enough, they make such great events, and there were actually information vacuum because everything is closed, there were no exhibitions, etc. But this week they got 5 days full of information, and it was more or less about their job, about their needs, about the market they are working on. So after that, people told to us, I didn't even thought that this market is so huge. I thought just because I'm working and operating in some region, or I have some specific customers, and that's it. But when they see the full picture, they become how to say well happy that they are a part, a small puzzle of such a huge thing, and the thing is growing, changing, updating, which also make them how to say, interested to continue to work in this field and yeah, to use some of our services as well.
Reflecting back to that event, so it happened 6 months ago. So did you notice any positive, let's say, changes? Because this is something that we can't measure, unfortunately, but did you notice some positive, changes in relationship with the potential customers, with the existing customers? Did it, let's say, rise your reputation on the market? So this, let's say, indirect things that we can't measure.
Let's say I've heard several times from real estate developers when they come to us and say, "Oh, I've heard that there was an iRidium summit, and I asked my colleagues to check what your guys doing, and they said that we may have something together." And yeah, it was interesting. And from our integrators, they were thankful to us, and they continue to say that yeah, it was great, and please continue. I mean, please do it again, because it was something really useful, not just a boring thing when you are listening about new product line number 1, 2, 3, and you're going to sleep. So and yeah, they understood that we are, how to say, interested not only to sell, but also we understand their needs and trying to bring them some information that could be interesting to them, and maybe it will be helpful in their daily tasks. That's why, yeah, it's really unmeasurable, but it's something you just feel talking to people, interacting with them.
And what some ideas you would like to try with, let's say, the second edition of this summit? What would you like to do differently, or let's say refine in your processes?
Being a sales guy, I would say it definitely will be paid, but we will see. Then there will be more use cases for sure, and we will invite more integrators, not vendors, but integrators. There will be vendors, but we want to get more integrators, because when you are a professional in some specific field and you are listening to the guy who is doing more or less the same job, but do it on a next level where you want to be, it's interesting to you. I mean, you understand each other, and it works for you without any questions. Then I'm thinking about the number of days, so how long it should be, because there were different suggestions, but maybe it will be 5 days. Why not? Okay, allocate this 1 week from your vacation and go and listen to us, because it happens just once per year. And there is an idea, of course, I'm talking about the second summit for, let's say, Russian-speaking audience. But I think, yeah, it's also time to switch to European market, or to make it in English, and allow other guys to attend it and to see what's going on. Maybe it will be offline one day. It will be interesting as an idea, but I'm not sure about this year. But maybe one day we will get all of these thousands people somewhere in a big, I don't know, maybe stadium or something like this, and make it offline. I think it will be real rock and roll.
I hope one day we'll be allowed to host this, let's say, offline event, and we'll just open this video recording and just laugh at the situation that has happened in 2020.
So maybe it's the very beginning. We will switch it on for just 10 seconds to remind them that we were thinking about it, and now it's a reality.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks a lot for joining me. Thanks a lot for sharing all these nitty-gritty details about the virtual event orchestration, promotion, the pitfalls, throwbacks, the activation part. And I'm so happy to be a part of that process as well, to help you with launching this virtual event and seeing this progress, seeing all these, let's say, business results and these indirect results that you mentioned. And yeah, this, let's say, these opportunities that now you can see, you can attain with this sort of activities. And absolutely, I would love to see this global event because you deserve it.
Thanks a lot. So yeah, I want to thank you for your input, and it's 100% true that it wouldn't happen without you, Andrei. So I hope that this podcast will be useful for some of your, listeners who will think that yes, I'm going to do such a thing just because these guys did it, so I can do it at the same way, the professional way. So yeah, how to say, be brave and be strong. Uh, Changes are always difficult to be implemented and to be accepted by yourself. But when you do a step forward, you see the new horizons and you get the results. So yeah, just act and go forward. Everything will be okay. Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Andrei, for
much.
invitation.
Thank you so much. And that's true. I hope if at least one company will be inspired by this talk and arrange the same sort of virtual events on their market, that would be a best, let's say, result of this and the best value of from this podcast. So thanks a lot for joining me today, and all the best to iRidium team. And yeah, hope to see this offline event one day.